Good news there, right? Vaccinated adults in the state of Ohio getting a chance to win big. I mean, really big. They've announced a $1 million lottery for those with at least one COVID shot. The giveaway takes place over the next 5 weeks in an effort to boost vaccinations across the state. The prizes then will be funded with federal pandemic relief money. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine with me now on the incentive. Governor, good morning to you. I love original thinking, but I got to tell you, man, this sure is novel. Why is it necessary?
Well, one of the things that Fran and I have found out as we've traveled around the state, we've been to over 40 vaccination sites, and we always just talk to people who are getting vaccinated. And you've got people in Ohio and across the country who got vaccinated. We've got 42% of our citizens are now vaccinated. You've got people who clearly are not going to get it. They have every right to make that decision. But then you have people in the middle, and they're the kind of the persuadable people. And they're people who may have just put it off. What we find is that people who are getting vaccinated who've had the chance for, several months to get it, they say, well, my spouse talked me into it, or my son brought me in today. So it's clear that some people can be persuaded, and maybe we can help kind of push them along to do this, because there's nothing more important as I look at the future of Ohio the next few months and into the winter. Nothing's more important to saving lives, and nothing is more important to keeping our state moving forward than getting more and more Ohioans vaccinated.
Okay, yeah, I get that. Listen, you were early on a Republican governor in your state. I mean, you were on this COVID thing quite quickly with the mandates that you put in place there in Ohio. It seems, however, if you're going to give $1 million a week, and you're going to give, 5 full 4-year scholarships at Ohio Public University, that you're really trying to drive the incentive. So what does that say about the lack of willingness of the people to get the shot?
Well, there are people who don't want it, and they have every right not to get it. And we're not really talking about them. What we're talking about is people who have just kind of delayed. I mean, we find people who said, yeah, I was always going to get it, but just didn't get around to it. Or now I can walk in and get it without having to make an appointment. So everybody's kind of in a different place. And so it's the people at the margins that we think that this will maybe push some people over. And look, you can say it's a waste of money. I talked to the people of Ohio last night. I said, look, some people are going to say Mike DeWine's crazy and that this is a big waste of money. But I'll tell you what the real waste is. What the real waste is when somebody at this stage, when we have the vaccine that will pretty much 100% protect you, but you don't take it, you get the COVID, and you die. That is a waste. It's a tragic, tragic waste. That's what is something that's just horrible.
2 more points here. Fully vaccinated Ohio, you're a bit above the national average on screen for viewers. Look at the top line here. You're a bit above. At least 1 dose, you're slightly below by about 4 or 5 points. So we see what the need is there. Can you use federal dollars in a giveaway like this? I mean, is that legal?
Well, look, the federal government, we've had our lawyers look at this, and the federal government supplied this money so we can fight COVID. That's all we're doing with this. We're trying to get more people vaccinated. We think we will get more people vaccinated. That is fighting COVID. It is the best weapon we have today to stay on offense, and that is the vaccine. It's coming down to the vaccine at this point. If we can get more Ohioans who can't spread it and can't get it, we're fighting the COVID.
I heard from many other governors so far. I mean, the news is pretty fresh. It's only about 12 hours old. No, I've not heard from anybody yet. Okay, well, tis early, we say. Governor, thanks. Mike DeWine. We're going to watch it, and we'll see who the lucky winners are, right? We'll bring them on our show and talk about it.
13 days to the first draw, 13 days.
Dig it. And 3 weeks before you lift the mandates in Ohio. So, Governor, thank you for being on today.
Thank you.
Mike DeWine there in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. What do you think?
Well,
novel, creative?
When I first heard about it last night, I was like, that's outrageous. Taxpayer dollars should not go to that. But then listening to him talk about his rationale, and that he's like, and I believe in states being able to be innovative and to give it a try. And if he thinks that this is the best way to spend COVID relief dollars to get people vaccinated so that everyone can get back to work and school, maybe he's got a point.
We'll see if it works too. And keep an eye on those numbers too, and we'll see whether or not they go up.
Yeah, we'll check them out.
Precipitously.